what's up guys, it's Gold Is It. I want to talk about one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, the man called Sting. I grew up watching this man. He is the whole reason why I started watching wrestling, and I want to use this video to honor some of his greatest matches. Well, in my opinion at least. I've got 6 matches that I want to discuss. I'm not going to really rate or rank these matches, I should say. I'm just going to talk about them in general, and let's just get started. The first match I want to discuss is from Beach Blast 1992. It was on June 20th, and it pitted Sting against Cactus Jack in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, this was like one of the first times I think that WCW ever did a Falls Count Anywhere type of match. Actually, I think it's the first time any organization did that kind of match. You know, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But anyways, it was a pretty good match in my opinion. It was one of the first pay-per-views I remember getting as a child, and I just remember just being captivated. You know, I was captivated by anything that Sting was in. I was such a big time Sting mark that I didn't care what he was doing. I loved everything about it. Sting went on to win that match via flying clothesline off the top rope out onto the entrance ramp, and he got the pin on Cactus Jack. Very memorable match. The second match I want to discuss is from Clash. Well, we'll give you a little build-up. The actual match itself is from the Great American Bash of 1991, but let me give you a little build-up. At Clash of the Champions 15, we saw a match between Sting and Nikita Koloff. A fantastic match. Anyways, after the match, or later on in the show, there was a Sting look-alike contest with all the little kitty Stinger fans, and Sting was at ringside with the winner of that contest, and Sting got jumped from behind by Nikita Koloff with his Russian chain, and that prompted the match at Great American Bash on July 14th, 1991. We got to see Sting and Nikita Koloff go one-on-one in a Russian chain match, where Nikita Koloff got the victory. Now, the Russian chain match was like a leather strap match, where 2 combatants are tied to the wrist at the end of each chain with the chain, of course. And the object of the game is to beat your opponent down, and then carry him from post to post to tap each corner. So Sting and Nikita Koloff are battling it out. They're rolling around the perimeter of the ring, each touching the turnbuckle as they're going around. So each of them have 3 turnbuckles each. And at the very end of the match, Sting is trying to get the last turnbuckle. He does a Stinger splash to try to reach over Nikita to get that last turnbuckle, but it pushes Nikita Koloff into the turnbuckle, so Nikita touches the damn, the Saints just won. So Nikita ends up touching that last turnbuckle, causing him to win the match. But it was a very memorable match in my eyes. Very enjoyable. The next match I want to talk about is from Great American Bash, again, 1992, the following year. July 12th, Sting versus Big Van Vader. Oh, dude, this match was awesome. Jim Ross was the king of commentating, and he killed it on the commentating that night. He really got involved with the match, really energetic, really involved, period. And it was Sting versus Vader. Sting's doing a Stinger splash into the corner. He kind of overshoots it, slaps his head on the metal steel turn post, and cracks his head open. Dazes him, confuses him. Anyways, Vader does the Vader bomb, He Vader bombs Sting straight to hell, folds him up like an accordion. Vader gets the win, and he wins the World Heavyweight Championship, or the WCW Championship, I should say. So Sting loses again. A lot of these matches I have listed, Sting loses. Let's just keep this in mind, though. Sting was never afraid to put anybody over, period. He was a great wrestler. Mic skills, wrestling ability, and just an overall likable guy. He wasn't afraid to put you over. He did anything he could to make the company better. Next match. From Clash of the Champions 1. Probably my most favorite Sting match of all time. Clash of the Champions 1 took place March 27th, 1988. We saw Sting and the Nature Boy Ric Flair go to a 45-minute draw. That's right, 45 minutes without a single pin, anything. And this was supposed to be judged by they had special celebrities sitting ringside watching this match. I remember Jason Hervey from the Wonder Years was a special guest judge. Anyways, the match went to a draw. The judges could not decide on who the winner would be, so nobody won. But this particular match, Ric Flair put Sting over big time in this match. This is the match that made Sting who he turned out to be in his wrestling career. Ric Flair, of course, one of the greats. He put Sting over, made him look great. Sting was a kind of green back in those days during that time. It was a fantastic match. If you guys ever get a chance to look it up, Clash of the Champions 1, Sting vs. Flair, you will not be disappointed at all. Next match, Clash of the Champions again. Clash of the Champions 17 on November 19th, 1991. Sting versus Ravishing Rick Rude. Now, Sting was the United States champion at this time. Before the match took place, Sting was being interviewed by Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone was talking to him. All of a sudden, this weird music started playing, like gypsy music. Out comes all these people carrying this big like box of some sort, and out comes a beautiful lady. She's like seducing Sting, taking his mind off what was really about ready to happen. And Sting gets jumped from behind. I believe it was by Lex Luger. Anyways, he gets his leg messed up pretty bad, so he has to go to the hospital. Of course, he's supposed to defend the U.S. Championship against Rick Rude that night. We don't know if Sting's going to come back. And he does make a triumphant return. He makes his way back to the arena, has the match, but unfortunately, Sting loses the match. Rick Rude becomes the United States champion, and he goes on to hold that United States championship for like over a year. But this is not about Rick Rude, it's about Sting. Anyways, this really started the feud against him and the Dangerous Alliance. The Dangerous Alliance is probably one of my most favorite stables of all time. But you look up the match from Clash of the Champions 17, Sting versus Rick Rude. Fantastic match. The last match I want to discuss from the Great American Bash, 1990, Sting versus Ric Flair again. This was on July 7th. This was when Sting was going up against Ric Flair for the World's Heavyweight Championship. And this is when Sting wins. He beats the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Ric Flair was putting him in a figure 4, I believe. Somehow Sting reverses it, puts him in an inside cradle, and gets the 1, 2, 3. Everybody from the locker room emptied out and went to the ring. The Steiner brothers, I believe, hoisted Sting up on their shoulders. Everybody was proud of Sting, dude. He came such a long way, you know, from his days in the UWF as a Blade Runner with the Ultimate Warrior, getting his start in the NWA with his matches with Ric Flair from the late 80s and whatnot. He finally wins championship gold, and it was such a great moment in wrestling history. Another match, guys. Look it up. 1990 Great American Bash, Sting versus Ric Flair. Fantastic. You know, none of these matches I discussed were from his Crow days. I was a big-time Sting fan, of course, you know, throughout his whole career, but I really enjoyed him when he was doing the surfer gimmick. the bright face paint, the blonde buzz cut hair, or the spike hair I should say. It was great. The colorful ring attire, it was just, to me, it's what captivated me. But those are the matches I picked. Let me know what you think. If you guys have some great Sting memories, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And that's it for me. Peace out.